Hi guys, welcome back to Keep Evolving. This is episode 11. Wow. Okay. It's been such an amazing time to always be with you guys and always have your audience. We really appreciate it. And today, kama kawaida, I am joined by my fans. We have Wendy Akinyi, have Jackie Wegoki, and we have Benjamin Yeshohi, and I am Wangeshi Washira. So today, we are going to be talking about personalities. We're going to be discussing personalities, just trying to understand the different personalities and how they, work around, especially in the home setup. As you all remember, our conversations are usually mostly for the family setup at homes and, going outside as well. So first question, just quick question. What are personalities? I don't know. What would you describe a personality as, Jackie?
I think when you think of personality, we are thinking of qualities that make us unique as individuals in relation to how we behave, our character, maybe the way we lead others, and the way we generally look at life. Yeah.
All right. Wendy, what would you describe personality as?
I would describe them as the qualities that make up the character of a person. Mm-hmm. The qualities in terms of how they behave, how they react towards things, in that sense, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
Benja.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Personality is how you be who you are, like how you carry out who you are on a daily basis in your small space, your interactions with people, that being of who you are, how people would see you and describe you as. That is personality for me.
Okay. So tumesikia, it's basically the things that bring out who you are, the characteristics, the aspects that bring out who you are, and people are able to identify you by or with. Yeah. So we did a test, a personality test. Benja, do you want to take us through that?
Let's do this. The personalities we are looking at are, I know there are very many, but we used the four temperaments.
Yeah.
Very quickly, the four temperaments: Sanguine, Choleric, Phlegmatic, and the Melancholic. Those are what we used for this, for the purposes of this discussion. And yes. And everyone did a test. And what I will do is I will start with mine. And then everyone can share, because we somehow recognize that the strongest that we have is different from each other.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So very quickly, the test is based on a set of questions that then give you a result determining what your forefront character is or temperament is, and how they cascade into the four of them. Yeah. Of course, most recently we have the 16-point personality test, which I'd encourage you guys to go out and, just
try it out.
Be there and know who you are. Mm-hmm. So for me, this was very interesting. I always thought I am a choleric. And then after this test, my phlegmatic side won. Imagine a phlegmatic winning, as if a phlegmatic would want to win or would do a competition.
The irony.
Yeah.
And who is a phlegmatic? Phlegmatics are people who are very keen on relationships. Mm-hmm. They want connection. Mm-hmm. They want to bring some emotion into it, and that empathy and care into all that. Of course, there is an extreme of it where you will find that they are pessimistic. Mm-hmm. they might not be as optimistic, but you do not have to have the negative side of it. So my strongest temperament came out as phlegmatic, followed by melancholic, then the sanguine, and then finally the choleric. So what I thought I was is actually the least. It happens. And so as we go on, we'll be talking about how it came out and how that affects we as people and our relationships with each other.
Yeah.
And I'll throw this to Jackie. How did yours come out? And who is that person that you realized or discovered you are, or affirmed even?
Yeah, my strong one was the melancholy, followed by the red, that's the choleric. And then we have the phlegmatic, which is the green, and lastly the sanguine. Now that you've talked about phlegmatic, maybe I can talk about the red, which is one of the two dominant, red and blue for me. So for the reds, these are the people that you're driven by goals. You want to stay focused and you want to achieve something, you know. And so you'll find that most of the time there's a purpose, and if you are red, you really want to see it happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes you may find that you don't even think too much about the strategy, like how much you want to have it
achieved. Yeah.
And you're saying some of the areas that we keep working on is sometimes you can step on people, even just to see the dream come to be.
Yeah.
Because your main drive is, yes, purposeful and goal oriented, and achieving is it. And you'll find that sometimes we become so competitive, and that competition sometimes can become unhealthy, as we will see as we dive into this conversation. Yeah.
Wow.
Wendy,
Well,
whom did you realize you
for me, I don't know. I think it's quite clear. I'm a yellow. I'm a sanguine. It came out like that. Apparently, the yellows, we are always up for a good time. Apparently.
Anytime
We
is
are
a
the
good time.
enjoyers. Anytime we wake up, whatever is happening, we are pumped. We are full of energy. The yellows are always ready to go. And they value relationships. They value having people around them. They thrive when people are around them. And also, I think as we did this test, there's something I found out. The test is more effective when you have somebody else filling in for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes you might not be as honest as the test requires you to be, yeah? So I found the test more effective when somebody else who knows you helps you do it. So they're the ones who check the boxes. Are you like this or like that? And we found out I'm the yellow. And also something that surprised me, that we are disorganized. And before we started the segment, I realized it's actually a fact. The yellows, we are disorganized. It's true.
Wow. It brought to light
Yes.
how you live your life.
You know, at
It's not
first
like
it
did not make you disorganized to realize that you're a sanguine. You just painted the picture that has always been there.
Yes. So at first I was like, no, disorganized, what do they mean? But to some extent, we value some disorganization in our life. We don't like to seem so perfect.
Wendy,
It's like, honestly, when things are too perfect, the word is rigid and structured. We tend to find it too boring or
makes
serious. So it's the enjoyer, the party planner, the life of the
Life of the party.
Yes.
The one how did you discover you are?
Well, I am a melancholic who is also phlegmatic.
Yeah.
They are almost on the same level. And then I think sanguine and choleric later. Choleric is like kochini.
Yeah.
The thing about melancholic is we are planners. Oh my God. I think anyone who knows me knows, man. Like I just want to know tukitoka hapa tunaenda wapi, and then after that tunaenda wapi. Like I'm not as much into spontaneity. Please do not do that to me. Just tell me we are doing this and this and this. Okay, then I will plan. Another thing is we are problem solvers. Like we just want to solve the problem. And sometimes, at least for me, I don't know about other people, but sometimes I will go the extra mile of doing whatever needs to be done myself, because because the other aspect is we also don't like conflict. So sometimes I'll just be like, if you don't want to do it, I'll just do it. And I'll take up things that I was not supposed to do, simply because I'm not about to start having a confrontation. I cannot deal with confrontations. So there's the melancholic and phlegmatic in equal proportions, and then the rest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we realize you do not have to be one
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, there are people who are stronger on one,
Yeah.
but there are people who, like mine, the first two are quite high. They separate by just 3 points. So, which makes sense. Looking at them, it is a good thing to continually discover who you are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And how your environment has caused you to be.
Yeah.
And let's keep evolving,
Exactly.
like who are you? How are you going where you're going? Why do you like organization so much, and why do you like some value some disorganization?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Wangeshi will take us into the next point of this so that we can keep going.
All right. So now that we have discovered the different aspects of, our personalities and who we are and everything, probably we can just have a conversation around how does this then affect relationships, like within the family and stuff like that. Like, I am melancholic, you are sanguine. How is that relationship, affected, and how do we work around being in different spaces? Because we live with different people, you don't always live around the people that are of the same personality as you are. So how do you probably even give examples of how do you deal with people who are different? Benja?
Wow. I didn't expect it to come to me first, but of deep ends and jumping in there. I think being a phlegmatic, being a person who values relationships, I've also found out that phlegmatics give people space to be who they are. So it's a bit easy for me, if you are the person who wants it your way or the highway, we can find a way to work around it. We can deal again, because phlegmatics are not hell-bent on competition or winning. They want things to move around in a subtle way. We will achieve the goal, yes.
Yeah.
We don't have to, be so fixated. But if the leader is so goal-oriented, we'll find a way of solving the conflicts as we go. So in the house, we don't have a choleric. Currently, my current situation is that there is no strong choleric in the house. So we all find a way to coexist, which is really nice. Probably a choleric will come along the way. We shall see how to not to see their way,
Yeah.
The other thing is, because relationships are important, you find time for everyone.
Yeah.
You listen, which now it works very well for other people when they're getting encouraged. Someone is listening to them, and there is no conflict, or conflict is quickly fizzled out, so that maisha irudi into a space that is peaceful and happy to live in. Yes.
Wow, okay, that's interesting, because it's important for us to always remember that we are not always living around people who are like us.
Exactly.
Tell us about melancholism. I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it up.
Melancholic.
Tell us about the melancholic or choleric, whatever you would want to get into.
Maybe let me pick it from what Benjamin has shared, that the phlegmatics, they are the peacemakers.
Yeah.
So let's say we are in this household where we are like the way we are here, where there's a sanguine, there's a choleric, the red. So and there's a melancholy. First, we need the peacemaker. Because the red, that is the choleric, will come and say, I want this done. For example, if that is the leader in the home, I want this done, and I want it done this way, and we have to accomplish it.
Yeah.
And possibly, here comes melancholy, who likes planning, and this had not been planned prior. So this disorganizes the melancholy, and you're like, can we do it tomorrow? Would it be nice if we just planned after we plan? The melancholies are people of structure, And so you can see a sort of conflict may even arise, because the melancholy wants it to be part of a plan, and the choleric wants, let us do it now and we accomplish it. And then comes the sanguine.
Is this excited?
Actually, for the sanguine, they're not even realize the choleric has said, just say, we'll do it, don't worry.
It's okay, it's fine.
Let's first have our fun, So what he is saying is that we need each other. Why? Because I need the sanguine to bring life. They bring the life of the parties. They're the party people who seem to, influence the crowd and bring life to the crowd. You need the planners because you want an organized space. You want, there are days that we have to work with routines and structure. And yet you need the person to drive the goals. The person who will make sure that things are actually happening and implementation is happening. So when we do that, you find that each one of us is important and we are creating a harmonious team. And it's interesting, even as Beje, you say you don't have a choleric, you might find that at some point you're even playing the role. Because as the teams form in our homes, somehow also different roles start coming up.
That is very true.
Because and I think just a question, maybe Wendy can take this up. Just a question. Does this then mean that because I am because each and every of these personalities, they have the good side and then they have the not very beautiful side. So does this then mean that because this personality of mine has this side that is negative, you all are going to have to deal with it? I can't do anything about it. What then do we say about that? The parts that are not very appealing, about your personality. Do you then just, you all will just deal with that? Or like, how do we go about it as the one who is with this personality?
Well, I don't think it would be correct to say that because of the negatives in me or my weaknesses, now you just deal with me as I am. Because I love that when we did the test, the column provided a section for room for improvement. Meaning the things we have to work on. So as much as I'm a sanguine, I'm a yellow, I have to keep working on it to make sure you're the best in that character. You're the best of it all. So improvement has to be there. You don't have to be a burden that I'm like this, so deal with me. Because if the choleric, the phlegmatic, and the melancholic decided you also deal with me as I am, then these personalities are not going to help us anywhere. There's going to be conflict. It's going to be impossible for the peacemaker to make peace. It's going to be impossible for the visioner to vision. It's going to be impossible for the melancholic to plan. So for all these personalities to work, we have to be open-minded. Another thing, where there's weaknesses for me, another personality complements the weaknesses. If you look at that carefully. Sometimes you can find my weaknesses are complemented maybe by the phlegmatic or the melancholic, and the choleric is complemented by... So that complementing allows us to be able to continue to relate with each other. It allows the personalities to balance.
All right. That's actually very interesting. And it enables us to remember that it's not always about us. So we need to be very aware of the things that are not very pleasant about our personalities. Maybe, I don't know, would you want to just share from there?
Especially on the part she's saying of improvement, because some of the negative characters of these personalities are really negative. You'd look at some of them that come from your temperament and your personality, and you go like, that is not.
That is,
But you see, that means you've been working, you've been doing some work, and it is very important when you are aware of where you're going. Then you can avoid the pitfalls and the obstacles, and you can forge on and say, we are a team. Especially in the office space, maybe at home we have created this way of working around each other. Dad likes things to be done his way, so when he says something, we all do, and then we are safe. Mom is, she likes us to be together, or all that, and I don't like that, or I want to have my friends, I want to go out. In the family, we may have created a way to work around each other. But then when we bring it to the workspace, I don't know you, you do not know me, I am me, and probably I need my peace. But you're the boss and you need things done. And the sanguine colleague is over there wondering, why are we so boring? Why do we have to follow this? So it's about realizing what is it in me that I need to work on, or this is a task given at work. And this is the team that has to do it. Whose character makes it easier for us to just get in there and work, and so that if it's the choleric who is supposed to drive this task, and your leader, very closely they are helped by the melancholic so that we can plan. So the melancholic plans and the choleric drives people, and the sanguine will plan the party at the end.
And a celebration.
Yeah.
It's about working around each other consciously. I think one of the words we've been using around this season is intentional.
Yes.
And all of us have to get in there and know, I don't like surprises. So plan my day very well and also incorporate everyone else who is coming into the office.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think working around each other to sort especially those downsides so that everyone is on the up. Most of the, like, if half the year, no, not half the year, if 2/3 the year we are building ourselves, that means our characters are being built.
Yeah.
And everyone's personality at the end of the year will be better.
Much better.
Even the downsides, the flag who is called also lazy, lazy sana. They are some place where they are better in how they do what they do.
Yeah.
They bring harmony.
Yes.
When there's disharmony.
Yes.
Exactly. That is true.
So you should
That's
ideally
amazing.
not be throwing your negatives and just going like, that's who I am.
Yeah.
Because I think we do that so many times.
We do.
We do that so many times.
Yeah.
So let's think about these things. And we also ask you, viewer, to, we'll take a short break. While at it, you can just go through, look for a personality test, check the characteristics. And then when we come back, we can start talking about more after you have already done the test. Sindio? Yeah. All right. See you in a few. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. We hope you have been able to grasp some things and understand some few details about your personalities. So we were talking and we were trying to understand the details of our personalities, and this brings forth the question, what is the importance of even knowing these things? What is the importance of understanding my personality, and what is also the importance of understanding the other person's personality, especially in spaces where we are together, in families, workplaces, all these things. What's the point? Why is it even important, Wendy?
I feel like it's very important because it allows us to understand that we are different.
Yeah.
And the moment we understand we are different, I feel like we tend to avoid a lot of conflict. The moment I understand that Wangeshi cannot be like me all through, it will get to a point where she will disagree. I will not become so frustrated and go like, oh, she's so self-centered, or she does not understand me. I will go like, that's her. This is her personality. This is how she is. We're going to be able to avoid conflict. Yeah. And the reason why it's also good to understand, we are also able to know who to go to when what happens.
Yeah.
I know that I need a problem solved. I know that I need something organized and planned, and I know that it is not my cup of tea. I will not sit down and do that.
Yeah.
I know who to throw it to. So we are able to help each other through whatever life throws at us.
All right. So we have noticed that the personalities complement each other.
Yeah.
So when I know your strengths and your weaknesses, we are able to work together. Jackie, what would you have to add on to?
When you know your personality, you understand yourself better. So when that self-awareness is heightened, you realize you'll be able to see, where do I need to amplify, like, your strengths in a way that also they don't become an extreme.
Yeah.
And then you recognize your weaknesses and say, I have to work on this. And maybe I can use an example in an office, being a melancholy who wants to really plan.
Yeah.
And there are times when work demands you work under pressure.
Yeah.
So those are times when I have to come back and say, as much as for me I would have preferred something that in advance I had planned for, here I have to switch another gear.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have to actually recognize this is needed quickly, and I have to do it fast. It's not usually the most comfortable. What it means is that I have to get out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's true.
When I think about the family, I think it's so important when we know each other so that we are also able similarly to help each other to grow what is great in us, and also, like Wendy said, to complement each other.
Yeah.
And I think also having your personality, the personality knowledge and what your personality is, you're able to understand, why do I behave the way I behave?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How come I lead the way I lead?
Yeah.
You're able to ask yourself questions that will help you to grow yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Benja.
Yes. There's two questions, no, two things in my mind. It begins from the psalm that says, I praise you for I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes. Yeah.
Then begs the question, who am I? So when you do this test, plus the very many other things that you will complement this knowing your personality with,
Yeah.
it just goes to answer that question. Who am I? Now I know that I love peace. Or the reason that I love peace is because these questions just guide me to see the picture of whom I have been, you know.
Yeah.
And then now I understand, just like they are saying, understanding this is me. So then I ask myself, how do I fit into this community, into this society, my workplace, family, my service life, all those, because we all need to fit in somewhere. Fitting in not to do what is being done, but to actually be effective in the family, in the workplace, and everywhere else in between. And to be effective, you can't be effective if you do not know how this is happening. Exactly. So I need to know, where am I inclined on solving conflict or wanting peace? And why is it that sometimes during a conflict, or sometimes I am the causer of the conflict, and how do I handle that? That when I realize that I am the one who caused conflict, I want to get out of it very quickly. But also, push it, we can deal. But why am I like that? And that is this, for me, that is the biggest reason why knowing your personality is very important. So that now I know that this place might lead to conflict. How can I begin mitigating, you know, or changing the direction and the mindset of people as we go, so that by the time we get there, wale watu wanapenda conflict, or people who find themselves in conflict are like, that was really helpful, or that changed. I think we can employ this again. And also for the planner, we'll be like, I think next time we'll incorporate this so that things happen. I am able to know how to fix my strengths into that place.
Amazing.
Maybe, yes, Jackie.
I'm just thinking about, even for parents, like in a home setup, apart from understanding themselves, they're able to see the different dynamics in handling their children. And I'm reminded of, you know, like a child who is a sanguine, and for them, they even in school, they might look like they're not as serious as, because but even school, there has to be fun. See? But if you have the melancholy child, this is a child who is so planned, so quiet, and they may not even look as loud. In fact, somebody says sometimes they are so quiet, you really have to draw them out. And then you have the red, who, whenever you ask and something requires a decision within the table, they are the ones. You know? So you need to recognize that. How do I create a balance to ensure that even the melancholy and the phlegmatic speak, and even this one who loves life can still bring life and still do the homework. So it gives us, it calls us to be again very intentional and make the effort to understand these various dynamics, so that we are able to sort of look for a way to balance it all.
Thank you very much. Wangeshi, put your voice. What is the importance of these things?
I think my opinion is basically more or less what you guys have said. It's important so that you are able, one, to understand the different dynamics of who you are, and why you do some things better than others, and why you slack in some, why some are not working so well for you, and all those things. And then you are also able to accommodate other people, because well, one of the things about melancholics, we are very accommodating people. So you are able to accommodate other people. You are able to know that, okay, she did this, it didn't exactly make me happy, but that's just the difference, one of the differences between me and them. Maybe on those days when I am not feeling like having fun and all these things, and Wendy's in the room and she's, having all the fun and being happy, and I'm just over there like, oh my God, can we just sleep or be silent, or like, please. I'm not angry. I'm just like, that's just how she is. That's how I am. And we are able to accommodate each other because we are social beings.
Wow. One of the things that we noticed as we went through this, and even off camera, is that there are some extremes of these temperaments and personalities. And I'd want us to speak to both extremes, and how to just bring a balance, both at home and at work, and within our social circles and what are they called? Serious circles
Yeah.
or formal circles.
Yeah.
You know, where do we strike a balance? Wendy wants to plan the party.
Yeah.
Joanne wants to plan. Wendy wants to plan the party. Joanne wants to plan work, and they are in the same space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is sanguine and melancholic in the same space. And the
Yeah.
choleric is seeing as if these people are joking. There is nothing that is happening. You have to sit down and see it what. Keep Evolving has to take, we have to come and shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These people want to celebrate.
Yeah.
What are they celebrating?
So how can we bring the balance?
Yeah.
The flag is being called lazy, or the sanguine is, this.
Yeah, just somewhere in the background.
Yes, the sanguine is feeling these things. You
They're
guys are being
boring.
too serious.
Yeah.
Where is the balance
Yeah.
on the negative characteristics that come out of these personalities? And two, where do we create the balance on the highs? Because the planning is working, the party is happening, everyone is moving, the goal will be achieved, and yes, it is structured and there is harmony. There is no conflict within all these things.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 temperaments, just moving in the same direction and achieving everything together. And those are highs. And there are the other lows. This one is lazy, too happy, almost doesn't care, conflict. Where do we create the balance, Jackie?
Let me pick it up from like the being a choleric, the side of being a choleric who wants to see goals and goals achieved.
Yes.
For them, it's about let's get there.
Uh-huh.
It really sometimes doesn't even matter how, but I want to see we have done it and
Yeah.
it is complete. So in that case, because I know she's a melancholy, if this is my team, then I'm saying that I know Joanne does not like just being, bringing things under pressure. So I would be like, Ivone, I would try to be as much as possible proactive in enabling her to know what is actually going to happen so that she is able to plan it. So it's about saying, unless it's an emergency, let me engage and let's plan as much as possible to take care of her. At the same time, here comes Wendy, who is partying all the time.
Yeah.
And I will be like, of course we can't party all the time, but
Yeah.
how about celebrating the short wins? So as we work, every time we notice that we have done something successfully, we'll be like, Wendy, hooray, we did it, just to accommodate that. And of course, when we are celebrating with that cup of tea, we'll give her an opportunity now to bring the life here. And then we have the phlegmatic who is so peaceful. Of course, we'll say, why don't you share with us the word of prayer? As we start, because for them they just want to see peace and harmony and talk to us, like everything is just nice. I mean, if we had all phlegmatics, if everyone was phlegmatic, I don't know how the
The
world
world
would
would
be.
be an awesome place.
But
Great place to
but
Quite
no
peaceful.
goals achieved.
but
Yeah.
get at peace.
It's just
To be a lazy world.
because I want peace. So when there's conflict, you're like, oh dear, me, I don't have conflict.
Yeah.
We'd rather not achieve that, but we have peace. You see? So I think it's God reminding us that we are so unique and our extremes also serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Just the same way our strengths serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is why we need each other.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Definitely.
That is a great place to jump onto Joanne and ask for you, where is the balance? We need each other for you. Now create the balance for us from your perspective. I am doing this because I realize all of us are different temperaments.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
come from a different angle. So where is your balance? How do we create balance? Family, work, and everything in between.
I think from my end, okay, as much as I would prefer that we plan things, as much as I would prefer that, you tell me things in advance, I have grown to actually allow room for spontaneity.
Yeah.
I've grown to actually allow room for things that I had not seen coming.
Yeah.
And let's just say when you are walking the walk of faith, that's a room that you have to expand.
Exactly.
Like your melancholism is just broken down altogether.
Yeah.
So allowing for, because sometimes there are emergencies, as you had mentioned.
Yeah.
Something has just come up, it needs to be attended to. We can't say we will plan and then attend to it tomorrow. So some of those things are creating a balance, knowing that, she also wants to have her voice in here.
Yeah.
The peacemaker wants to have their voice in here. The choleric wants to have their voice in here. And even as I am planning, I am putting all those things into consideration. I'm putting into consideration that we can't plan this for 7 days because the choleric choleric is itching to have it done tomorrow. We cannot plan this to have, if it's a training session, for example, at work, we can't be in class for 3 hours, because then the sanguine cannot deal with the fact that you are in class for 3 hours and you're not doing anything fun. I can't throw in some conversations that will start becoming a bit uncomfortable, because the person who wants peace cannot deal with the fact that there is upcoming conflict that they can see. So, just putting all those things into consideration, even as I am being the person that I am, not to just constantly think about myself, but to always have a balance to things.
Great.
Wow. That's
Putting
good.
the voice of other people in there. Wendy?
Yeah.
Yes. How do you, the sanguine, create the balance?
I love that she has said she has grown into something like spontaneity, and I think that's something we need to capture, that we can grow into those positive traits of other temperaments. It doesn't mean that I am limited to the sanguine temperament. I can grow to, becoming a planner and also start we have to approach this one from this angle and plan. And also, I feel like balance can be achieved when, after we have understood who is for what, who thrives in what. Because the sanguine is the promoter. If you're in a company, we need something marketed to the best. I wouldn't be throwing it to the choleric. They are not going to give me what I want. I would throw it to the sanguine. They will add all the pomp, all the life, all that is needed for that marketing, whatever, to take off the ground. So once it has sold, I need somebody to strategize and keep it up there. I'll throw it from the sanguine to the... So that balance is stricken when we have understood who does what. Instead of trying to change the sanguine into a choleric, I give the sanguine their bit. Once they're done, I transfer it to the choleric, bring it back to the melancholic to plan, and I throw it to the phlegmatic to take it home. In a way that will make people feel this is for us. So I feel like that balance can be stricken as well. Also, in terms of the negatives, it doesn't change in a snap. You have to understand, we've seen that the sanguine can be inconsistent. And sanguine struggle with punctuality, I'll tell you for a fact. That is very true. And they struggle with punctuality a lot. They are inconsistent. They are impulsive. So there are some things I'll look at and see, this in the hands of a sanguine, this is going to go south. And you give it to somebody else. But something in the hands of a sanguine is going to really pick up and grow us. So I feel like that is where the balance is stricken. So the leader has to be very sharp to first understand who they are. Then understand who their team is and move from there.
Wow. All that wisdom. People, look at their time.
And because I'm thinking also that even as a leader, what you brought in is very key, that look at the strengths and see how you can amplify the strengths. And just look at their weaknesses and see how you can help them work on. So that we are not always telling the phlegmatic to only pray. Otherwise, they'll never grow. So, because,
for sure.
So we want to also, as leaders, to think of how do we ensure that at the same time we are enhancing growth amongst the team members.
How do I push you to improve your negatives? And I need to also recognize, where do I need to give you somebody to complement your negatives?
All right. I want parting shots of not more than 5 words. What can you tell the guys watching about temperament and this striking the balance and personality in just very few words? Jackie, we start with you.
There is no personality or temperament that is superior than the other, because each of us, we are unique. And as we've seen, each has strengths and each has its weaknesses. So what we need to know is that there are times I will serve in my temperament, but there's a time there will be an extension where I have to plug in now another kind of temperament.
Wow. Joanne?
My words are, wisdom is key. As you thrive in your temperaments and understanding other people, be wise. Wisdom is important.
Wendy?
I'll have to say, first understand your personality, know who you are, then go and understand the other person, work on you, because it is easier to change who you are than it is to change who somebody else is.
Wow. You had all the wisdom, you had everything that came out of here, And I just want to tell you guys, we did the episode on passion.
Yeah.
Go back, bring your negative characters into the place of positivity, and let us grow. Thank you so much for joining us week on week until this time. And we hope to see you even with this more movement and further movement from your place. We are grateful that now people can begin to feel a bit free, but at the same time, you need to keep evolving.
Exactly.
That one is a guarantee. So that when we are totally free of corona, we are not free of corona. When we are totally free of corona, we can actually look back and say, this time grew me in these ways. So thank you very much. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and we shall see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.